Hey punters, it's Matt from Hutcho's All Things Trailer Boat Camping. Last week I left you, is it possible to do, or to install a full gas system into a 5.5 metre boat? Well, the answer is it is possible. I must say first off, I am a fully qualified Type A gas fitter. Have had some experience with boats and a lot of experience with caravans. The reason I say that it's not an instructional video, this is just something that it's a bit of a challenge for myself as well. If someone was to do this and pay someone for it, would probably be cost prohibitive, but that's up for you to decide. With such a small boat, I'm familiar with the codes, the Queensland gas codes, and basically things can be safe but non-compliant, so I have to run on the gas code. So if anyone has any suggestions or advice or picked up something I haven't picked up, please let me know. This is as much an experiment for you as it is for me as well. Okay, right, a couple of problems we've got with putting a gas system in such a small boat. Cost is a big issue with marine. For example, if I'm going to use a cylinder, I need to use stainless steel cylinders. Now we'll put some prices up from one of the retailers of marine barbecues and gas cylinders and equipment, and just to let you know, a 3.5 kilogram cylinder is normally around $49 from Bunnings for your standard camping type cylinder. If you want a 3.4 kilogram stainless steel marine grade cylinder, they're $380, and that doesn't happen with swap and go. So this gives you an indication of what's required by law. I have to put one of those cylinders in there. All right. A lot of the other things I'll be going over will be mathematics, megajoule rating and consumption. In our case, with such a small boat, we have to make sure that we have the water capacity as well. So there's no point me putting a too big a cylinder in when I've only got X amount of water capacity. If you work as a rough rule of thumb, there's 47 megajoules per kilogram of gas, okay? And it's just simple maths. You work out what your appliance is using, you divide the megajoules per hour, and it will give you a rough indication of how much you'll be using per hour. Break that down, we can get into 3-minute showers, 4-minute showers, things like that. All right, one of the problems I have is the venting of the gas cylinder compartment, okay? Really the pipe work and everything else is pretty, standard and par for the course. The biggest issue I have is clearances between ignition sources, i.e. your engine. We also have clearances to within the inside of the boat. Inside of the boat, it's an open boat. Is it a closed cabin? I don't know. Interpretation is 9/10 of the law, as we all know, if you're a little bit older. Probably the most important thing you got to think of is your cylinder placement, your LPG storage locker. This is basically will dictate what you have to do, where your drains have to go, where you have to position drains for ignition sources, for openings into the boat, and a very important thing with marine, because we are sort of stifled, I wouldn't say stifled, but because we're constrained by certain restrictions, you also have to see how much freeboard you have in your boat, because it could be quite possible that you have to put a drain out at such a low position, you do not want water to ingress into the drain, okay? Our plans are for here. Where this cylinder is, this is a 3.7 kilo. The one we were talking about is 3.4, slightly smaller, but if you can look at a similar dimension to this. I plan on having a fully enclosed and sealed gas cylinder compartment with a lid at the top, okay? I would like to keep it around here, so I've got my normal bilge outlet if there's a problem, but basically shape it off nicely so it's fully sealed and it doesn't get in anybody's way or anything like that, because on the other side of it we actually want to put a platform, if you can imagine some raised aluminium grates or something like that, for the shower, which we're going to use, okay? So, problems we have with this is the ignition source has to be fully sealed. The biggest issue we have is the ventilation. If there is a gas leak, there needs to be a ventilation point. We can only go 25 millimeters above the base of the cylinder, okay? So whether I take this cylinder up another 20 mils, and that'll give me a little bit more height here, but as far as the drain goes, everything's fully sealed, so if the gas cylinder leaks, there is nothing but a drain that comes out the side. This is another problem. I'm currently waiting on advice from the Department of Mines and Natural Resources whether I can run a drain valve on the interior of the boat and then come out with a similar vent as we see with the fuel vents on the end there, or I can come out somewhere here. But generally I can go no more than 25 millimeters above the baseline of the cylinder, which leaves ignition sources, openings into boats. If I put an electric trolling engine on up here, I can't go too far up here. The approximate position, if I was to run the vent for, or the drain line for the gas cylinder storage box, would be around here. Okay, now, it's well above what water's going to ingress, but you've got to understand that water could get in there as well. These are things I've got to think of, and look, I'll get to those in the future. Anyway, that's the storage hassles underway and done. Next thing, pipe work, position of appliance, and in the storage box in the back, I actually want to put a bayonet fitting in it, so we can plug in a bayonet fitting and run something similar to this, which is a portable hot water system. So we can hang the hot water unit on the back of the boat, put a bayonet into the side of the unit here, stand here and have a 2 or 3 minute freshwater shower. We also plan for a water storage to have a bladder underneath the seats in the V-berth there. And again, the amount of water that we can store will also dictate how many showers we'll be able to have. I might even be able to go to a smaller cylinder. At the moment, the calculations we've made with a 2-burner stove and a 28 megajoule instantaneous hot water system, 3-minute showers for 3 people a day, me, my wife, little Cassidy, she's only 8, we've got to bring her along, we can't leave her at home. And then we've got the cooking of approximately 45 minutes a day. Now, I've really overemphasised the cooking on it and the megajoule usage, but at the end of the day, we'll have 15 days that we could shower for 3 minutes a day each and cook for 45 minutes a day. I'm not going to have the water capacity to do that, so if I can reduce my water capacity, I can reduce the size of my cylinder and I can reduce my dimensions, which will make it easy to put the system in. Sorry to bamboozle you with that. Next time you see me, we'll be sitting at a desk. So if you don't like maths and you don't like looking at pictures, you don't like confusing information from the Department of Mines, only joking guys, probably not best to continue on from here. Cheers.